Okay, good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the class. So this is the last but one class of this module. Okay, and I'm at the last part of module 5 that says beam to beam connections, beam to column connections, and column splices, and no numerical problems. So what I do is I'm going to explain how the connection is done without, of course, any design through figures. So even in the examination, you will be asked questions. So you need to draw a neat figure or figures. Then you need to give a brief explanation. Okay. So this one, instead of starting from the nodes, what I do is I'm going to project the camera of my laptop onto the board. Okay. So, and I'm going to explain it. So before I start, so please tell me whether you can see the board. Someone has to speak up. So can you all see the board? Of course, a part of the board, not the whole thing. So within this area, I'm going to cover. So can you see the board, guys?
Yes, sir.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Or do I need to speak loud? Is that enough? Guys?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
you can hear me, right? You can hear me, right? Okay. Okay, guys.
Yes, sir.
So just let me take a building plan of a steel structure. So it is like this. So these are the column positions of I sections. Okay. Okay, it may continue further. Maybe a part of the plan. Okay. So these are the I sections. Then we are going to provide beams. We are going to provide beams in this direction, in this direction, in this direction, and it goes further this way and this way. Then we can provide beams here, 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 like this, and further. Okay, these are the columns. Again, I repeat. So on those columns, we are seeing the beams. Again, we are going to assume that those beams are of I sections. Okay, and these are the main beams. Let us consider some more beams sitting on the main beams. Okay, so again, another beam, and this beam is sitting on this main beam, and also this beam is sitting on this beam. Similarly here and further. So as far as this beam is concerned, and this beam is concerned, this beam is concerned, etc. So these beams are sitting on the columns directly. So that's why these beams that are sitting on the columns are called main beams or girders. Main beams or girders. Okay, and these beams which are sitting on the main beams are called secondary beams. Secondary beams. don't have to write this figure. Okay, I have given this figure in the beginning of the module. So this is sitting on the main beam and this is sitting on the main beam. Obviously, this main beam is carrying more load. This will have higher section when compared to the secondary beams. Okay, what I am going to do now is I am going to show the joint details here of this part. So deliberately I have written the span for this secondary beam more than the span for this beam. As a result, whatever the section after the design we need for this span is going to be less than the section we are going to provide here because of lesser span. So I am going to show this detail. So if I take this is the main beam. I am writing the main beam here. I hope you can see this. This is the main beam. Okay, and this continues like this. Then this is the web. When you look from the top, so this web is not visible because we have a flange over the eye section. Okay. Then this secondary beam comes here and sits on the main beam. Is it not? So again, this is inserted inside. However, so we cannot see the connection details here. We need to connect this secondary beam and this secondary beam for the web of the main beam. So if I take a section here, look from this side. So what I see is this. This is the main beam. Sorry. Okay, this is the main beam. Then this beam is coming and sitting here. So that is okay. So when you keep this, so you are going to maintain some gap between the main beam, the secondary beam and the main beam. Similarly, if you take this beam, again look from this side, you are going to see this. So is it not? So this section, that is the depth of this eye section is less than this because look here, the span is less, this span is more. That means more load gets transferred to the main beam from this secondary beam and less load from this to this. So less load this beam is carrying means less bending moment, less shear force. As a result, we are going to need shorter eye section as far as depth is concerned. So just by placing these two, you cannot make these two I sections or these two secondary beams sitting on the main beam. For that, what we need to do is, just to make sure the load gets transferred from these two secondary beams to the main beam, we have to give connection, bolted connection or welded connection. So let us take bolted connection. How do we give bolted connection? So what we do is, we will have some angle sections. Again, this part also we are going to design what angle we need and all those things. Okay, so the angle section runs like this. It will have certain length. Okay, so depending on the requirement of the length, we are going to cut that angle and take a piece of that angle. So take that piece of angle and put that angle in this corner. And also put one more angle behind this I section. There is one more angle here. And put one more angle behind it. Okay, that length can be varied because this angle section will have certain length. You can cut that angle section to the required length. Is it clear to you? Now what I do is, I am going to take this piece, I am going to put that angle here. So when you put that angle here, this is the way it looks. Okay, this is one leg of the angle, and the other leg of the angle is perpendicular to the board. If this is the angle, these two are called legs. It has two legs, one leg, two legs. Similarly, there is one more same angle section behind, so which is not visible. Similarly, we are going to put one more set of angles here. Again, this angle will have a different length, and the section of the angle we need may vary, or we may adopt the same size of the angle. That depends on the design. Okay, this angle, there is one more angle behind it. Afterwards, what we do is, we are going to provide bolts. We are going to drill holes, and we are going to provide required number of bolts. These bolts are designed. We are going to find out what diameter of bolts we need and how many bolts we need, etc. Okay, so this bolt is supporting both. It's because this is a heavier beam, so we are going to provide additional bolts below. Okay, this bolt connects this angle and the web section. And if you need it, if you need one more bolt, say for example, we are going to provide one more bolt here. Okay, this connects this angle, one of the legs of this angle, one of the legs of this angle with the web. However, we need to connect this angle to the web of the secondary beam, this secondary beam, and to the web of this secondary beam, to the web of this secondary beam. So what we do is, we are going to provide again some bolts depending on the design requirement, like this. Is it clear to you? So this is the way we do. This is the way we connect. See, if this is the top floor, when we don't need any flooring on this is okay. Okay? I hope this is clear to you. So, if this is the top floor, as I said, it's okay to provide like this. This flange is at one level, and the flanges of these two eye sections are at another level. Okay, if it is roof, somehow cover it, seal it, so that water does not get through. Then you are fine with it. However, in many of the structures, we make sure the top flange of this and this are going to be at the same level, because we need to provide flooring. Okay, in case of multi-story buildings. So for that, what we do is, we are not going to do this way. Instead, what we do is, if this is the eye section, that is the main girder, then we are going to bring this girder up to this point, because we are trying to bring the eye section from this side like this. Okay, look here. Yeah, the top of this wing, the top of the main girder, the top of another secondary girder or secondary beam are going to be at the same level. But look here, what is the spacing? So how do you fill up the spacing? Look here. We cannot provide an angle to fill up this spacing. So for that, what we do is, we are going to cut a part of this beam. That is the top flange of this beam and a part of the top flange of this beam. Once we cut it to the required size, then we are going to move this inside. Similarly, we are going to move this inside. Finally, what you are going to see is this. See, a part of the top flange of this beam, a part of the top flange of this beam has been cut. Okay? Then only we can move this, we can move inside. Now, again, the beams are at the same level, so it will be easy for us to provide flooring. Now, we can connect the web of the main beam, that is the main girder, with the webs of the secondary girder using angles. So, provide the required angles like this. Okay, then provide the bolts to connect the web of the main beam with the webs of the second beam. Then we are going to provide bolts here to connect the angle with the webs of the secondary beams. These are the bolts. Okay, and the cutting we do here is called coping. C-O-P-I-N-G. Okay, is it visible, guys? Can you all see it clearly? So you need to, say yes or no. Someone has to speak up. Guys, is it visible? Hello?
Yes, sir. It is
Ganeshya.
visible, sir.
Visible? Sinchana?
Yes, sir.
Is this clearly visible?
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Okay. So I will proceed. So this cutting portion is called coping. Okay, whenever we cut like this zone gets weakened because we have taken a part of the top flange. So in this case, what we have to do is we have to check the webs for block shear. In addition to that, to strengthen this portion, we are going to provide some additional plates here, like this. Okay, these plates run perpendicular to this web. Similarly, we are going to provide some additional plates, and we are going to provide another set of additional plates behind to strengthen this web. Okay, this is the way we are going to do beam to beam connection. Okay, the connection is done. You can see the figure in the notes. Okay, then you can study the theory part, how it is done. Okay, this portion has been shown here. Okay, what is the next part? It is beam to, and one more thing is, instead of providing bolts, you can provide welds as well. If you are providing welds, just take this out. So there is going to be some finger plates or some connecting plates, or else you can bring this secondary beam and make it touch the web of the I section, then you can weld it. That is like this. Okay, now the web of the secondary beam is touching the web of the main beam. Similarly, on this side, the web of this side of the secondary beam is touching the web of this. Then we are going to put welds on both sides, that is here and also behind. Okay, is this clear to you? Again, we are going to design the weld to carry the weld. What size of weld, what is the length of the weld required, and all those things. Okay, and we have to make sure that the length of the weld, total length of the weld, does not exceed the web depth. If the length is not required, then increase the size of the weld. Okay, so this is the way it is done. Next, we'll go with beam to column connection. So beam to column connection, how it is done? So I'm going to take this, or else I'm going to show only one side. It is just a repetition. So let us assume that this is the end columns. Okay, so I'm going to show the connection here. This beam is sitting on this column. Okay, or else I can show this connection. This beam is sitting on the flange of this I section. So this can be sitting on the web of the I section as well. Here, this beam is sitting on the web of this column. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to show only this part. That is, this beam is sitting on the on the flange of this column. So that is, if I draw this is the column. Of course, we don't know the length of the column, just I show continuity. If you look from the top, you will see the column in the plan, which is an I section, Let me make it a little bit bigger. This is the plan of the I section. Okay, and if you look in the front, so you are going to see this column like this. Is it not? So there is a beam coming here and sitting on the flange. That is, when you look from the top, there is a beam coming like this, and it is sitting on the flange of the column. So of course, this is the center. And this is the web of the I section. Okay, when you look from the side, this is the plan. Look from the side, you will see this like this. Okay, so that means this beam is coming and trying to sit on the flange. Can you make it sit? No, we cannot. So we need some connections. Of course, there is going to be some spacing always. So again, take the required length of a piece of the angle like this. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to provide the angle perpendicular to the board. So when I look from the side, the angle looks like this. Okay, so can you make this sit on this? No, you cannot. It is going to fall down. So we need to make connections. So we are going to provide boards. So we are going to connect with one of the legs of the angles with the flange of the I section, that is the flange of the column. Okay, this is called unstiffened connection. So we also provide, again depending on the requirement, we provide boards here. Okay, so just to make it stable, what we do is we are going to provide one more angle on the top. Okay, and we are going to put boards. Okay, so again, how many boards we put, that depends on the design. Normally, when we put these things, which are called as cleat angles, this is also a supporting angle, this is a cleat angle, CLEAT, cleat angle, that helps the secondary beam to keep in position. But when it comes to transferring the load, not only this part, we are going to provide additional angles. Again, everything is going to be designed. Nothing is going to be placed arbitrarily. Okay? So we are going to provide one angle. There is one more similar angle behind. Then we are going to connect them using bolts or welds. Okay, so this is the way we are going to do beam to column connection. Again, I repeat. Again, these are the angles, these are the bolts. So this is the beam coming, and this beam is trying to transfer the load coming on it to this column, then finally to the foundation. So when it has to transfer, there should be a connection. It is like, not like in RCC. So how do we do that? Again, we are going to place this on a platform. Then we are going to provide angles, connect one of the legs of the angle to the web of the I section of the beam, and the other leg of the angle is running perpendicular to the board. And we are going to connect this to the flange of the column through the bolts. Again, if you are not providing bolts, you can provide welds at the edges here, and also you can provide welds here. Again, you need to design everything. Okay. So and also to keep the beam in equilibrium and also in certain position, we can provide these two angles. So this angle is called cleat angle, and this angle is called web cleat or web cleat angle. Is it clear to you now? Okay. So another thing is, this joint may be simply supported or fixed. So by providing angles like this or welding, we are going to create fixed condition or simply supported condition or partially fixed condition. Okay, each case is different. Okay, depending on what kind of connection we need, we are going to provide that kind of connection. So by tightening this by providing angles and providing bolts and providing all these connections, we can make this support as fixed for this beam. And by not providing these two, by providing only the angle, we can make this connection as simply supported connection. So as of now, you don't have to worry about this, just generally take this connection. Okay? Next, the same figure, if you look from this side, so what are you going to see? How you are going to see the figure? So the way you are going to see this figure is you are going to see the flange of this column like this. Okay, this flange equal to this flange. Then if I extend this line, so I am going to see okay, this is the beam. That is this beam I'm talking about. And then if I take this angle, so that angle will be like this. The angle can be run over the whole width of the flange of the column. Or only for this width. Again, you can cut the angle to any required size. Then this and this beam we are going to provide here. So these bolts are passing through the angle and passing through the flange of the column. That way it is connected. And this is the thickness of the other leg of the angle, which is coming perpendicular to the board. So on this platform, this beam is going and sitting on the angle. So similarly, regarding this cleat angle, so this is the angle. And these are the bolts we are going to provide. Okay. So when it comes to this, so it is like this. Okay, and this angle, one is here, and there is one more similar angle behind, and that is this angle we are seeing now at the side view. So provide bolts. Okay, this is the way the connection is done. So when it comes to this support, this angle support, this is called unstiffened support. Unstiffened means if the load is heavy, it is possible if we don't provide this web cleat or web angle, if the light is if the load is very light, if we say, okay, we are happy with only this angle, providing this angle, and we can bear the load. Yes, we can bear the load. There is a possibility that the angle is going to bend like this. Because this is not stiffened. This angle is not stiffened. This is called unstiffened angle. So for that, what we do is we are going to provide some stiffness. So how do you provide some stiffness? Say for example, we have not provided this angle. Okay, this beam is sitting only on this angle. Okay, we have not provided this angle. Okay, so this angle may bend downwards. So to stiffen that, what we do is we are going to provide some T section or some additional plates like this. Additional plates like this. Okay. And possibly we are going to weld this here. Okay. And there is going to be a space between this stiffener plate and the flange of the eye section. So we are going to fill that portion with fillers. Basically, that is a small plate just to fill the gap. So when you look from the side, you will see those plates here. Okay, these are the plates which are helping to stiffen the angle. Even though one of the legs of the angle tries to bend forward due to the weight coming on the beam, then these stiffened plates are going to take a part of the load, and these stiffened plates are going to prevent this angle from bending downwards. So again, if you look from this side, you see this. And as far as stiffened plates are concerned, sometimes we provide smaller angles here as stiffeners, or sometimes we provide T sections as stiffeners. So there are different ways. This is one of the examples. Is it clear to you guys? So this covers beam to column connection, and also before I covered beam to beam connections. So as far as the theory is concerned, yes, it is there in my notes. I hope it is clear to you. So in the examination, if the same question appears for 4 marks or 5 marks, so what you can do is, you can write the theory and also you can write the figure, what is given in the notes. That should be good enough. And if you are adding more to the figure, like side view, top view, etc., that's fine too. But it takes some additional time. If you have time, do it. Otherwise, write whatever given in the notes. Okay. And in the next class, I'm going to finish this module by discussing about column to column connection. Okay. So is this clear to you guys? Any doubt? If you have any doubt, please ask me now itself. Guys, is this clear to you? Not following or not sitting in front of your laptop or cell phone? Okay, guys. So let me stop the recording. So let me end the class for today, and on Monday I'm going to finish column to column connection. Okay.